At 72, Pierce Brosnan remains one of cinema's most recognizable figures, not simply because of the roles he played, but because of the quiet gravity he carries. To the public, he has long embodied elegance, confidence, and control, most famously as James Bond, a man who faced danger without hesitation and emerged unscathed. Yet that image, polished and composed, tells only part of the story. Behind it lies a life shaped less by spectacle and more by endurance. Brosnan's journey is not defined by villains defeated or box office triumphs, but by the unseen strength required to move forward through loss, uncertainty, and change. His dignity has never felt performative. It feels lived in, earned over time. What makes his story compelling is not fame itself, but how he carried it, steadily, thoughtfully, while navigating personal experiences that demanded resilience beyond any script. Early absence and quiet longing. Pierce Thomas Brosnan was born on May 16, 1953, in Drogheda, Ireland, into circumstances that introduced him early to absence. His father left when Pierce was still an infant, creating a silence that would shape his emotional world long before he could understand it. There were no explanations, only the awareness of someone missing. His mother, May, loved him deeply, but faced economic realities that forced difficult choices. When Pierce was 4, she left for London to work as a nurse, hoping to secure stability for them both. What was meant to be temporary stretched into years. During that time, Pierce moved between relatives, learning early how to adapt, observe, and endure. He became a quiet child, emotionally self-contained, absorbing the lesson that love could exist alongside distance, and that stability, once lost, was never guaranteed. Learning to live between homes. Those formative years were marked by transition rather than permanence. Living with grandparents, then an aunt and uncle, Pierce experienced care without rootedness. Each household offered kindness, but none felt entirely his. He learned how to belong without fully settling, how to accept affection without assuming it would last. These experiences shaped a young boy who became deeply observant and emotionally reserved. Rather than rebellion or bitterness, he developed patience and self-reliance. He learned to carry his feelings inward, not because he lacked them, but because expressing them felt risky. The constant movement taught him adaptability, a skill that would later serve him well in acting and life. While many children seek certainty, Pierce learned to function without it. That early instability quietly forged a resilience that would become central to his identity long before fame or recognition entered his world. The return of stability. When Pierce's mother returned to Ireland in 1964, she brought with her a new husband, William Carmichael, whose presence changed the emotional landscape of Pierce's life. William offered something Pierce had rarely known: consistency. He was patient, dependable, and kind, introducing Pierce to simple routines, fishing trips, practical skills, shared time, that built trust gradually rather than dramatically. For the first time, Pierce saw what steady care looked like. Yet even then, attachment came cautiously. His early experiences had taught him that stability could disappear without warning. That same year, William took him to see Goldfinger, introducing Pierce to James Bond. The character resonated deeply, not as a fantasy of fame, but as a symbol of self-possession. Bond represented composure under pressure, an inner steadiness Pierce quietly hoped to cultivate within himself. The breakthrough moment. In 1982, Pierce auditioned for the television series Remington Steele, expecting little more than another professional experience. Instead, producers saw something distinctive and reshaped the lead character around him. The series became a success, introducing Pierce to international audiences and changing the trajectory of his career. Fame arrived quickly, but he approached it cautiously. Years of uncertainty had taught him not to assume permanence. While the role brought recognition, it also introduced frustration. Contractual obligations delayed his chance to pursue the role many associated with him. James Bond. The opportunity hovered just out of reach. Rather than resentment, Pierce practiced patience. He continued working, refining his craft, and waiting. Those years reinforced an essential lesson: that endurance often matters more than timing, and that near misses can be as formative as success. A father's grief revisited. Years later, tragedy returned in a devastatingly familiar form when Pierce's daughter Charlotte faced her own health battle. The experience reopened emotional wounds he had never fully closed. As a father, Pierce stood present and steady, offering support without illusion of control. He understood the limits of strength and the importance of presence. Charlotte's passing in 2013 marked one of the most difficult chapters of his life. The repetition of loss was deeply painful, yet Pierce did not retreat from the world. Instead, he honored her memory through love, connection, and quiet resolve. He chose not to be defined by sorrow, but to carry it with honesty. The experience deepened his empathy and reinforced his belief that life's meaning is found not in avoiding pain, but in remaining open despite it, choosing a quieter life. In the years that followed, Pierce intentionally reshaped his priorities. Fame no longer held the same allure, and professional choices became more selective. He focused on family, relationships, and moments of genuine connection. Life slowed, not from retreat, but from intention. Morning coffee by the sea, walks in nature, time spent with his wife Keely and their children became central. These routines offered grounding rather than escape. Pierce understood that success did not protect against loss, and that fulfillment often lives in simplicity. He embraced a life where presence mattered more than productivity. The world still recognized him, but he no longer sought its approval. Instead, he built a personal life rooted in love, patience, and gratitude, allowing space for both joy and memory to coexist without conflict. Art as reflection and healing. Creativity remained an essential outlet for Pierce, particularly painting. Art offered a language beyond words, a way to process experience without explanation. Through color and form, he explored memory, emotion, and reflection. Painting became less about outcome and more about expression. It allowed him to engage with grief without being consumed by it. This return to visual art felt like a full circle, reconnecting him with the creative instincts that first drew him to London as a young man. In these moments, there was no audience, no expectation, only presence. Art became a quiet companion, helping him translate complexity into something tangible. It reinforced his belief that creation can coexist with sorrow, and that beauty often emerges not from perfection, but from honesty. Redefining strength. With time, Pierce's understanding of strength evolved. It no longer meant control, certainty, or invulnerability. Strength became the willingness to remain engaged with life despite uncertainty. He learned that resilience is not about moving on, but about carrying forward. Love, loss, memory, and joy became intertwined rather than opposing forces. He embraced vulnerability without spectacle, allowing himself to be shaped rather than hardened by experience. This shift influenced how he approached work, relationships, and daily life. He became more present, less driven by external markers of success. In doing so, Pierce modeled a version of strength rooted in humility and grace. His life demonstrated that endurance does not erase pain, but it can coexist with meaning, purpose, and continued openness to the world. A deeply human legacy. Pierce Brosnan's legacy extends far beyond iconic roles or cinematic achievements. It lives in the way he navigated life with dignity, patience, and compassion. His story resonates because it reflects a universal truth, that life is unpredictable and strength often reveals itself quietly. He is admired not because he avoided hardship, but because he faced it without surrendering his capacity to love. At 72, his presence feels settled, thoughtful, and authentic. The storms have passed, leaving depth rather than damage. Pierce stands as a reminder that courage is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is the daily choice to remain open, to continue creating, and to love without guarantee. In that quiet resolve, his most lasting contribution is not cinematic, but profoundly human.